And welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My name is Mlambo, and today we have Entrepreneurship with Purpose. I am so excited to be online, and thank you so much for joining in. As you join in, please do share your location with us. Don't be afraid to tell us where you are streaming with us from, and let's get right into it. So, my name is Mlambo, and I bring you yet another entrepreneur with us today. She's going to be sharing some of her insights, and I believe that we've read about her and the work that she does so far. So, welcome, 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 Lumbie.
Thank you. Thank you for
it's good.
having me on here, Pure.
It's
I
good
really
to have
appreciate
you here. It's good to have you. Thank you so much for your time.
it.
Um, let's just get right into it. So, you have this amazing organization, right? And you are responding to the call of to the action call of sustainable goals, and
Mhm.
you are responding to goal 5 and goal 6. So basically, goal 5 deals with gender equality, and goal 6 ensuring the sustainable management of water and sanitation. And your
Mhm.
organization is responding to this call, and you basically assist with in impoverished areas. Areas battling to access water and sanitation. That's what you basically do. And I just want you to introduce yourself and tell us who you are, and we get right into it.
Wow. First of all, I want to say thank you, Pure, for having me on here on this interview with your audience. I'm really humbled and very appreciative. Um, I think you said it all. My introduction, you said it so well. Um, I do focus on SDG 5, which is gender equity, and also SDG 6, which is water, sanitation, and hygiene, plus also no poverty, SDG 1.
Mm.
And I am Zimbabwean born. My mom was Zimbabwean, my dad was South African. So I do speak kind of both languages, Ndebele and Zulu, because of that. So I'm privileged to speak two languages because Ndebele and Zulu are just about the same. But I'm so happy to be here and just to say how humbled I am to be the founder of this organization, JB Dondolo, that is named after my father, JB Dondolo. Dondolo meaning a cane used for support. Proud to represent my father, who's no longer alive anymore, but who was a humanitarian and who was very passionate about people, women, and everybody to have a better life. He was an orphan himself. He never went to school at all. I come from a large family of 11 people. I'm the last one
Oh,
in
wow.
the family. And
Oh,
like
wow.
yeah. But anyway, I'm very passionate about women, girls, and clean water because I know that through clean water we can get everybody out of poverty. Because it is
Mm,
most often the women and girls that are impoverished that are burdened with the task of collecting water. So
mm,
that's
mm.
gonna come in. That's me, JB Dondolo.
Oh my goodness. I just love how your passion, speaks for you. And I also love the legacy of your dad. It's such an honor. It's such an honor. And that's why I also wanted to say thank you for that. It's such an honor you representing your dad. You just carrying on, and that's very honorable of you. So thank you so much for that. And that leads me to my question. Basically, my second question is why is it important for you to carry on this legacy? Like, why is it something that's very important to you?
Um, for one thing, I really want to keep my father's vision and legacy alive. Um, it Not that I'm gonna forget about my parents. I won't
Mm-hmm.
forget them, but they were very close to me. I love them a lot. So the more and more I speak about JB Dondolo, the more and more I'm reminded that on a daily basis, I'm thinking about my dad and I'm elevating him. It's very important. And he was not in his vision was not to provide water. His
Yes,
vision
yes,
was to
yes.
provide help or just any aid to people. So
Oh
I'm taking
wow.
just a part of the vision and implementing that to help everybody. I'm just focusing on my passion, but incorporating my passion with his vision to say,
Oh,
you know what, Dad, I see you. I know you're there. I'm doing this and I know you wanted to do this. I'm doing it, but I'm also doing it my way. This is what I love to do. That defines who I am,
amazing.
not who I don't want to be defined by who he was. I want to be defined by who Lumbie is. This is me. But I don't want to forget him. I don't want to forget what he was for, what he stood for when it came to women, girls, and all that. That's why I'm
Oh my
doing this.
goodness. Oh my goodness, that is powerful. That is powerful right there. Dad, I
Thank you.
know you with me. I love what you said about Dad. I know that you're with me. And you're doing it your way. That's more important. In as much as you saw the work and his contribution into the community, you are also doing it your way, which is something very important. And that's you pursuing your purpose. That's
Mhm.
what's that's why this platform is called Entrepreneurship with Purpose.
Yes.
Could you please take us through the journey of establishing JP Dondolo? Like, how did you start? Like, how did you start? Who did you approach? Just take us through the journey.
Okay. That's gonna be a fun one. It's a very um it's kind of emotional in a way, in that
Mm,
how I started JB Dondolo was that I wouldn't have started it if something didn't happen, if something tragic didn't happen to me. I would not have started JB Dondolo.
mm,
The reason why I really started JB Dondolo is because I learned from a tragic moment in my life. And therefore, I decided to pursue it. And how I learned is when I had a stroke, and that left me partially paralyzed. And and I was in Zimbabwe at the time. And I had to come back to the United States because there was no healthcare facilities that could help me with my condition. If I had stayed longer, I could have died, honestly. I was told that if I stayed, I would have died. So because I came back to America and got and sought treatment here, after some time, I kind of looked back at how do people really live in Zimbabwe if they can't go to the hospital because they lack basic necessities, or because at the hospitals they lack water, whatever they lacked. And that's where it really started. That's where it really hit
oh,
home. And that's when I said, you know what, my dad would have loved for me to do some work in at the hospital in Yamandlovu to help people there with, you know, maternity wing and extend the maternity wing, help women. So that's when I visited the hospital, which they call the hospital, but it's a clinic. That's when I decided at the time that I'll start JB Dondolo.
mm,
Because at the moment, it really spoke to me because everybody referred to me as the daughter of that old man.
oh
Because I didn't
wow.
know that the old man had a daughter this young, meaning myself. I kept saying, I'm not young, I'm not young. But they didn't know that there was a little girl that was born. I guess nobody knew about me because I lived here in the US. So when I got there, everything was addressed according to my dad. Like, your dad would have done this, the old man would have done this. So I said, you know what? This means a lot. Let me start the nonprofit and call it JB Dondolo, because my father was doing it out of his own will, and by just selling crops, selling corn, whatever he could sell, um, cornmeal, um, vegetables and stuff, and he was pouring that into the community project. But
Mm,
since I don't live there, I wasn't there. I decided to create a nonprofit and allow people to donate to the cause. So that's what we've
wow.
been doing. I started a nonprofit, and that's how it's been working since then. And I've been just back and forth going to Zimbabwe to see my projects and to be on the ground as well, to talk to people, to listen to people, because the most important thing is to listen to what people want. I don't
Mm,
want to tell them what they should have, because they
mm,
live there. They should tell me what they want.
mm, mm,
And
mm.
I listen and I take that to my partners, like science and technology institutions that I work with, and let them know that we need a solution to this problem,
Mm,
to be driven by people's problems, and me listening, and my the people that work with me listening, and then having the technology drive the solution. Technology and science drive the solution instead of me and my organization driving the solution.
mm. Amazing. I'm just so moved by the um you experienced that tragic moment of facing a stroke, and then you sat with yourself under such circumstances, and you had to, you also reflected and asked yourself how people are living in your community. Because many of us, or many people, when some people succeed, sometimes they forget their communities, and here you are, you're like, I need to put myself in somebody's shoes, and that is amazing. That is amazing, and that's very honorable. And I like the fact that you're also using science and technology to address these issues, because the reality is that we need science and technology, we need innovation to address these challenges. So I'm very moved, and I really am sorry about the tragic encounter that you had to experience. um it's not nice at times when we have to push ourselves because of loss, or grief. It's not nice. However, what I've also seen with grief, or loss or pain, it gives birth. It gives birth to something. And we tend, in as much as it's painful, when you
Yes.
lose when you lose something or somebody, it gives birth to something beautiful. And here we are today, we're talking about JB Dondolo. Because
Mhm.
of a tragic encounter, it gave life to a beautiful organization that is impacting so many people, and it's yet to impact more people. Not, it's Zimbabwe and US. However, there's going to come a time in the organization where we jump into Tanzania. We go into all these African countries that are also in need of this service. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, and I apologize, but at the same time I'm like, oh wow.
Well, you don't have to apologize for anything. Things like that happen, you know. Everyone in
Mm,
life would have something, will go through something tragic. They'll go through some tragic moments. And it's how we it's how we move from there.
true.
Where do you go from there? What do you do about it? Sometimes I feel like, God is always listening and is always watching, and he pretty much guides you to where to go. And sometimes he gives you pointers and shows you things that you didn't even think you would see. Sometimes it's a sign that is meant for you to direct you in the right path. So for me, I look at it as a lessons learned,
Mm.
that, maybe my he wanted me to find my purpose, and this is my purpose. So that's how I look at it.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. It is amazing. I love your story. This is why this platform is called Entrepreneurship with Purpose. It's like, it's just purpose, people who are living their purpose. It's not easy to live your purpose, however, you are doing it regardless. And thank you for that. Thank you for that, because your purpose
Thank you.
is saving so many people, and people look up to you for that. People look up to
Thank
you.
you.
So I'm
Thank you.
really, I am really, I look up to you. I live in South Africa, and I'm like, I'm waiting for you. If you need somebody to go to Zimbabwe for you, I'm the closest one. I'm like
You
your neighbor.
know, I just may take you on that offer. You never know.
You never know. I'm your
You never
neighbor.
know.
So if you ever
We're
need
neighbors.
somebody, yes,
We're
we're
neighbors.
neighbors. Yes.
Yeah.
Um so this leads me to my next question. So up to 10 million girls will be at the risk of child marriages as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. I was reading that, and it's a very very disheartening disheartening to think about it. And this leads me to my question to say, why is it important that we empower the girl child? Like, and what are some of the impacts of the girl child not having clean water and sanitation access?
Well, we need to empower the girls because um, by empowering them, I mean by providing, in my case, for example, providing them water, because we don't want them to spend like hours and hours going out there, to collect water, and not going to school. Because if you're not going to school, then how are they going to learn? The thing is to make sure that the girls are kept in school and learning, so that the more they learn, the more they're going to be on the right track and on the right path to improving their lives and doing something about their situations wherever they are, growing the economy and starting businesses, becoming entrepreneurs, and not going into child marriages. They can make their own informed decisions instead of somebody making a decision for them. They need to grow up and be girls and be women that can be empowered. So, as you know, without water, uh, us women have our own problems like menstruation periods and all that stuff. We cannot do without water. Nobody can do without, a woman cannot do without water. So we need that. So by making water available intentionally, in proximity to their homes or quarters, it allows them to therefore spend less time collecting water, but more time focusing on themselves and skills, and also going to school to learn. And also, when schools have water, it's better for girls because they don't skip school. Because girls do become ashamed going to school without water, and they cannot use the facilities. It's just not comfortable. There's no dignity in that. In not just girls, but also women. We need to have to make sure that they have dignity, and so JB Dondolo restores that dignity and makes sure that water is available to them, so that they can spend time on themselves. And that way, I do have a friend that actually focuses on end child marriages. I think her organization is endchildmarriages.com or something like .org. But she's Zimbabwean as well. And she focuses on that as well. But I've seen that she also focuses on education. You see where I'm going with that?
Yes, yes,
Because
yes, yes.
if you're not informed and you're not educated, there's no way you can make a decision for yourself. That is a wise decision. You always think that going into marriage when you're young is the best decision because
Yes.
somebody's going to take care of you. And some of them are actually forced into child marriages, but some willingly go into child marriages.
Mm.
So, yeah, and unfortunately with the COVID-19, it's just a tragic moment that we all have to come together and discuss and talk about the ways to get out of this situation and ways that we can still stay focused regardless of this outcome, still stay focused and continue in the right path of doing the right thing that is going to grow us and grow the economy and have healthy lives that everybody desires.
So true. I like what you said about education. Like, everything goes hand in hand. You
Yeah.
cannot address this issue and leave another one behind. Like what you're doing at JP Dondolo. You can't, you know, um, alienate poverty and in women inequalities and water and sanitation. They all go hand in hand. And what your friend is doing in her organization, we need education. We need girls to be informed that
Mhm.
marriage is not the only resort, to ending poverty, because poverty is something that's it strips you of your dignity, like you said. Because when I was also reading
Yeah.
about the lack of water and sanitation, I was also moved by the issue of the public defecation
Mhm.
in Zimbabwe that I was reading about. And I was like, that alone is demeaning. It robs you, it strips you of your dignity. So everything interplays. So we cannot isolate education when we address certain issues, which is something very important. I hence I understand your vision, and I understand it well when you say also no poverty. You're also addressing SDG goal 1 of no poverty. So um it's
Yeah,
it's
right. Because no poverty. Can you imagine? Because when there's no water, really, everything. See, I look at it this way: everything depends on water.
true,
I don't care what it is. Everything depends on water. You
true,
depend on water to just wash, you know, to take your medicine, to cook, you know, uh, just anything, to grow a garden, whatever you want to, you're growing at home, everything, it depends on water. So if there's no water near you, what are you going to do? You're going to be poor because you
true.
can't grow anything, you can't do anything. So what are you going to do? So to me, water is a gateway to getting people out of poverty. So I use water to get women and girls out of poverty because otherwise they'll be stuck in this cycle. They'll be just walking miles and miles, like in Matobo Hills, for example.
Mm,
People there walk up to like 18 miles a day. I mean, to collect
mm,
water and going back home, meaning 9 miles that way, 9 miles going back. That's a lot of time spent,
mm,
when they could be spending that time on themselves, learning new skills that would empower them to become entrepreneurs, to pursue, careers, you know,
mm, mm,
to learn something in school, to stay in school and not skip classes because there's no water. So that gets people out of poverty. What keeps people in poverty is lack of education, but it goes beyond that. It's also a lack of water and other things that depend on that. Because you see, all the SDGs, the United Nations SDGs,
mm,
by the way, the Sustainable Development Goals,
mm.
they all depend on each other.
True.
Whichever one you pick, trust me, they all overlap somehow. So you just have to focus on one or two, so that you're not focusing on the entire thing, because otherwise you will never make progress.
Mm,
We want people to be making progress by focusing on those goals, which is why I am a United Nations United Nations Association Sustainable Development Goals, advocate, global goals ambassador, in other ways,
mm,
because I'm looking at all the goals and working with everybody, but really focusing on my niche, which is water.
mm.
But focusing on how can I help my partner or neighbor over here who's focusing on SDG 11, maybe something to do with cities, or stuff like that. Maybe somebody's focusing on something else that has to do with um, what? Just any of the SDGs, from 1 through
Climate
17.
change, yes.
Climate
True.
change,
Climate change,
education, whichever
education.
one, education is for, whatever, whichever one. So any of those, but I make sure that I'm actually available and making myself available to them in case they need me, in case I need to also be part of their initiative, so that we can all work together to address all these SDGs, because there is an
Amazing.
impact. Yeah, they all depend on each other. So
I love what you said about making yourself available. And that's what the world needs. We have
yeah.
so many challenges, but we just need to take initiative and make ourselves available in addressing these
Mhm.
challenges. The fact that you said that you make yourself available, although you deal with water,
Mhm.
you know somebody who deals with education, and everything overlaps. It like we these SDG goals all interdepend. They all work together, they intertwine. So I love what you said about that, making yourself available. And
Mhm.
that's why also when I started this platform is that we need a generation of entrepreneurs that have made themselves available to finding solutions to challenges that we're facing in this world. So are you available to addressing that one issue? Because here Lumbi said there are so many issues. There are 17 sustainable goals. Pick one that you feel you are passionate about in your community or your community really needs. So I really love what you said about that. Like it all interplays. And that this leads me to my next question to say, what are some of the challenges that you face at JB Dondolo? And do you need any help? Like what kind of help do you need, to anybody listening out here, to probably reach out to you once the live is done? Please do share with us.
Boy, do I need help.
Please.
Yes, I do. We have a lot of challenges actually. We're a nonprofit, okay? So we raise our funds through campaigns. We campaign online, we campaign offline. We also raise our funds through grants. We apply for grants online, and we look for the ones that are more in alignment with what we do. Um, so we also raise funds through donations, small donors like individuals and corporations. So, and we also raise funds through consultancy services, meaning us consulting with you. So if you ever need us to consult with you on water systems or anything like that that has to do with water, uh, gender equity, or no poverty, or anything in those lines, we do consult. And we charge a fee because all that goes to JB Dondolo so that we can do our work in the communities. So the kind of help we need is really that. That if you're a small donor, you can donate on our website at jbdondolo.org. If you're a corporation, you can partner with us maybe and become like a frequent donor, or you know, partner with us or sponsor something yearly, whatever you want. Even individuals can subscribe on a monthly basis to donate on a monthly basis if they want to. So those are the kind of helps we need. That's the kind of help we need.
Oh, that's a kind of.
Mhm.
So you heard Lumbie, jbdondolo.org. If you want to donate, make a donation, please don't hesitate. Reach out to her if you want to be a potential sponsor or somebody who wants to take part or contribute. There are different ways to contribute. Reach out to her. Contribute, please, where you can. jbdondolo.org. Don't be afraid. Go on the website as well. Just read through the website. See what the organization is doing as well. Be inspired. Read some of the stories, watch some of the videos that are inserted on the website to get a feel of what is being done, also so that you can see how where you want to contribute. So it's jbdondolo.org. Don't be afraid to reach out to Lumbie as well. Please do so, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't be afraid to reach out. This is entrepreneurship with purpose for a reason. We are also making sure that we're elevating businesses. We want to show people what is being done, especially these entrepreneurs that are following their passions and are doing it in the most purposeful way that they can. So please go on the organization on the website jbdondolo.org. I have linked to the organization in the comments, so you can click on it once the live is done. Even when you people who are yet to watch the stream, please do go on the website and just get familiar with what is being done. And this is my second last question to you, Lumbe. What is rewarding with the kind of work that you do?
Seeing the smile on the faces of people that we've helped when they have water, and tears on their faces, tears of joy that they will never have to suffer again.
Mm,
That to me is rewarding because it makes me feel like I've actually done something. I've actually changed a life. You know, I don't have to change many lives. You know, I can just touch one, change one. But just seeing how they look and how after we've given them water is very fulfilling. It's just very rewarding. You know, yeah.
amazing, amazing. Just seeing that one person, it's all that it takes. Just making that one impact. It makes a difference. It goes a long way. And this is my final question to you. Can you please give us words of wisdom to any woman, young woman, old woman, any woman out watching? to, what, like, just anyway, just encourage them, any woman looking into starting or establishing their business. Can you please encourage them so that they can draw inspiration from your story to be able to start right now, and not say tomorrow, but right now. Leave us with your words of encouragement, please.
I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm so glad because anyone looking to start a business right now, especially if you're in Africa, I would say go to the Tony Elumelu Foundation. It's tefconnect.net and apply to get funding. Tony Elumelu is funding a lot of Africans, um, more than 100,000 applicants. I mean, they're funding a lot of Africans, African entrepreneurs who have an idea or who have a business or who are wanting to start a business. They're giving you training for free. And then they're giving you a grant, 5,000 grant to get started. And they give you support. So I'll say start from there if you're building in Africa. For the rest, if you're looking to start something, if you're not in Africa, I'll say whatever it is that you're thinking to do, you need to get started and start quickly. Don't hold back because you're afraid to start. Start something, just start somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be an idea. Always reach out there and find out who can help you. There's so many people out there willing to help you for free just to get started. You can ask any questions. You can ask any entrepreneur questions that should be able to give you guidance. And nothing should stop you from starting. No one should stop your vision. It should be unstoppable because you're you. Just do what you want to do. Don't be afraid. Think outside the box. Think big and bigger.
Amazing. I'm so moved. Be
Mhm.
unstoppable. Don't be afraid. Just start. Start already. Start immediately. Start even with your small idea. To
Yeah.
you, it may be small, but to somebody else, somebody else, it could be something so big, and it could help contribute to making a change in society. So start now. Don't be afraid, like Lumbie said. Don't let anything hold you back. Believe in yourself. You can do this. You have the capability. There are people who are willing to help. Do not be afraid to reach out for help. I always stress this on this platform, that do not be afraid to reach out for help. People are willing to listen. People are open to
Mhm.
listening to you. Just reach out to them. Don't be afraid. There's always somebody on the other side who is waiting to help you. So I thank you so much, Lumbi. I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing. Thank you so much. We need more of you. We need more of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate your time, everything that you're doing. I read the entire website. Amazing. And thank you so much. I'm really honored to have had you on my platform. I appreciate. And thank you so much to everybody who joined this live, who took their time to watch. Thank you so much. This is Entrepreneurship with Purpose, and my name is Piwe Mwabe. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your platform. I'm very glad to share. I was happy to share. Thank you again and be
Thank
blessed.
you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.